Hi, I'm Shalina Hollingsworth with the Altitude Living Group, and the topic for today is carpet credit. Should we do it? Um, I get this a lot from sellers who understand that maybe their carpet needs to be replaced, but they have furniture in there, it's inconvenient, and the biggest thing I hear is, well, wouldn't the buyer want to be able to pick out their own carpet? And while in theory that sounds great, I usually recommend against doing a carpet credit for a whole lot of reasons. So the first thing is, I would say buyers are visual. One, we have to take photos of the house, and depending on what the condition of the carpet is, if it's heavily stained where that's going to be noticeable in photos, that could detract people from looking at the property. Number two is that if they get into the house and either it's pet smells or it's stains, again, even if they know they're going to get a credit afterwards, buyers are very visual. If they get in there and they see carpet that looks like it's distressed, that it hasn't been well cared for, they're going to mentally start thinking that that's how the entire house has been taken care of and that there may be other issues that they're not seeing. Again, immediately starting to reduce that offer price that they're willing to give. The third thing is the feasibility of this carpet credit. As a seller, you're not allowed to give a check to the buyer at closing saying, here's money for carpet. So the two options you have is that the money could be held in escrow by title. Oftentimes lenders are not thrilled with having money kept in escrow for their buyers. They don't want anything outside of the closing paperwork as it is. And in that way, the buyer would have to buy the carpet and get reimbursed by title, and it can make it a little bit confusing even if the lender allows it. Number two is the lender's going to tell the buyers, do not spend any money before closing. They don't want to change their debt ratio. They don't want to see that they've made big purchases, which carpet would be. So the problem is that the buyer can't purchase the carpet until after closing, and then depending on where they go, it could be 7 to 10 days before the carpet comes in. If they go to Home Depot and Lowe's, I've heard as much as 6 to 8 weeks, and then there's the install time. That buyer who's desperate to get those keys on a Friday and move in over the weekend suddenly isn't going to be having that new carpet for 2 weeks to 2 months, which can be a huge detraction for buyers, especially if there's truly something that's not good about the carpet where it needs to be taken out. So I don't generally want to go with that carpet credit. It just doesn't work as well as we would think it would. Again, with the visualness of buyers, if the affordability is there to go ahead and purchase new carpet and get it installed, I do recommend it. It shows better from the beginning. We get to put that keyword in new carpet in MLS. The buyers walk in, there's the new carpet smell, and overall it just makes a very positive impression. There is an in-between option that I've had sellers do where they're willing to go ahead and pay for the carpet. They'll pick 2, maybe 3 samples of carpet. We'll have those samples at the house so that the buyers can see that here are your options. You still get to choose the carpet, but the seller knows they're going to move out a week before closing. They go ahead and have it set up to be installed so that the buyer sees the new carpet in prior to the final walkthrough and prior to closing, so they know that that's going to be finished. It's not something they have to figure out how to do out of pocket or do after closing, but it allows the seller to not have to move their furniture. Again, this works well if there isn't any bad smell detraction from pets. Finally, there's the what if we don't have the money to redo carpet? We'd rather not give a carpet credit. I always recommend when we put a house on the market that we get the carpet's professionally steam cleaned. My reason for professional steam cleaning is that I personally have felt that when they professionally steam clean, they can get closer to the baseboards than the rented carpet red cleaners. Oftentimes there's a 2-inch gap, and sometimes you can just see the dirt along the edges, whereas the professional cleaning can get closer. I also feel like we're assured that all the water's out of there. There isn't any damp smell that comes out. And then finally, I also suggest that if there have been any pets in the house, even if they haven't really caused any problems, whether it's cats, whether it's dogs, buyers always want a fresh smelling house when they walk in, even if they have their own pets. And so with a lot of the professional cleaning services, you can have it professionally steam cleaned and then have the whole house deodorized. It's a small additional cost, but it makes the entire house smell like baby powder. It smells really good when you walk in. It just smells fresh. They tend to be better about getting stains out, and at least then if the carpets are fully clean, hopefully there's no carpet credit or cost of new carpet in general. If we get that done and there are smells coming up or stains coming up, we can always address whether there needs to be a credit later on if the buyer asks for it. So those are my recommendations with the infamous, should we give a carpet credit? But ultimately, buyers are visual. I suggest that we go ahead and make the house show ready as possible within everybody's budget and limits. Thanks, and again, if you're looking for additional resources, our website is www.homeswithaltitude.com. Thanks.